Hello and welcome to Recap Flicks. Today I will present you an action and comedy movie from 2021, titled, Red Notice. Enjoy. 2,000 years ago, Mark Antony gifted Cleopatra 3 jeweled eggs as a wedding gift symbolizing his devotion. The eggs were lost in time until they were rediscovered by a farmer, in 1907. While 2 of the eggs were recovered, the third remained lost. In 2021, Special Agent John Hartley, played by Dwayne Johnson, a criminal profiler for the FBI, is assigned to assist Interpol agent, Urvashi Das, in investigating the theft of one of the eggs, kept on display at the Museo Nazionale di Castel Sant'Angelo, in Rome. When he determines that the egg on display is a forgery and the real egg has been stolen, Das has the room locked down. However, before the room is sealed shut, international art thief Nolan Booth, played by Reynolds, manages to escape, pursued by Hartley, but Booth eventually gets away. 2 days later, Booth returns to his home in Bali with the egg in his possession. However, Hartley is waiting for him along with Das and an Interpol strike team. They arrest Booth and take the egg into custody. Already known to anyone else, Booth's main competition, Sarah Black, played by Gal Gadot, aka the Bishop, is disguised as one of the strike team members and swaps the real egg with another forgery in the back of the vehicle. The next day, Das confronts Hartley, believing he's responsible for the egg's theft. She tells him that a huge amount of money were transferred to his account and that she called one of his bosses and said they don't know who he is. As a result, she has him incarcerated in a remote Russian prison in the same cell as Booth. Shortly after their arrival, they are brought to Sarah Black, which is also the captain of the Russian prison. Once arrived in the office, she proposes to Booth that they work together to find the third egg, revealing to Hartley that Booth had lied, and in fact he does know where the third egg is. Booth declines her modest offer, and she departs, stating that she'll find the second egg, then she will come back, and his offer to help her will be much less than now. Hartley then suggests to Booth that they work together to beat Black, noting that if Booth helps him imprison Black, then Booth will take her place as the #1 art thief in the world. Hartley and Booth create an explosion to make a diversion and start running. When they get to one of the doors, they need a key, but Booth has already stolen it from a guards, when Hartley fought one of the inmates. When they reach the wall, they manage to get past it by pulling the stone that Booth put there intentionally, so that the wall is unstable and to be able to escape later on. The pair escapes from prison with a helicopter and heads to Valencia, where they plan to steal the second egg, which is in the possession of notorious arms dealer named Sotto Voce, who is holding a masquerade party. There, they encounter Sarah Black, who is also intending to steal the second egg. The 3 of them arrive in Voce's vault, where Hartley and Booth fight against Black, using a variety of melee weapons. Voce keeps on display in the vault before she gains the upper hand, and handcuffs them together. Voce arrives with his security detail and apprehends the men while revealing that Black and Voce are working together. They torture Hartley and, believing Booth has divulged the location of the third egg, Black double-crosses Voce and leaves for Egypt, where Booth claims the egg is. When Sotto Voce recovers, he is dizzy and starts firing his pistol, hitting Hartley's handcuffs, so he and Booth manage to untie themselves and escape from the dungeon. After leaving Valencia, Booth reveals to Hartley that the egg is in fact in Argentina, a location only he knows, as it was inscribed on his late father's beloved watch, which had once belonged to Adolf Hitler's personal art curator, named Rudolf Zeig. The duo makes its way into the jungles of Argentina, where they discover a secret bunker. Inside are countless artifacts hoarded by the Nazis. Booth suddenly sees a crate with an inscription of Cleopatra, where he finally finds the third egg. Black arrives to steal the egg from the duo at gunpoint, only to be interrupted by the arrival of Das and a team of Argentinian police. Hartley, Booth, and Black escape using a Mercedes, and drive it through an abandoned copper mine connected to the bunker, while Detective Das is chasing them in an armored vehicle. Eventually, they exit near the top of the waterfall, where the trio lands in the lake at the bottom. Booth swims to shore with the egg, only to discover that Hartley and Black are actually romantic and professional partners, both going by the alias Bishop. Booth surrenders the egg and they leave him handcuffed to a tree, in the rainforest. In Cairo, Hartley and Black deliver the 3 eggs to an Egyptian billionaire buyer, who gifts them to his daughter for her wedding, mirroring Mark Antony's original gift to Cleopatra. The gesture is overshadowed when the bride is more excited by the wedding singer Ed Sheeran. The wedding is subsequently interrupted by an Interpol raid, led by Doss. Alone on their yacht, Hartley and Black are met again by Booth, who informs them that he told Doss about their Cayman Islands account containing the $300 million payout from the Egyptian billionaire, which Doss freezes. Booth uses their bankrupt predicament to propose a new heist, but only this time they'll have to work as a team to hit the Louvre in Paris. The end. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.